Welcome back, everybody. Great to have you with us this week in America. Life Extension, the gold standard of premium quality dietary supplements, and Insilico Medicine are using artificial intelligence to promote longevity. This amazing technology has the potential to prolong the human lifespan. Back with us on the program is Dr. Michael Smith, author, national spokesperson, senior health scientist for Life Extension, a go-to national media expert, guest lecturer for numerous anti-aging organizations nationwide. A graduate of the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center in Dallas, Dr. Mike completed an internship in internal medicine at the University of Utah, 3 years of residency in radiology at UT Southwestern Medical Center, called the country doctor with a city education, and at the forefront of modern science and extending the healthy lifespan. Dr. Michael Smith back with us on This Week in America. Dr. Mike, welcome back. It's great to have you with us.
Oh, thank you, Rick. It's a pleasure to be back.
You are doing important work with aging and longevity. I feel like I shouldn't be interrupting because I can use the benefits of all of that. So get back to work after we get done talking here. But you've had some amazing breakthroughs since we talked the last time, working on innovative ways to support healthy aging. Talk about what you've come up with. This is really breakthrough material.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to be on your show to tell your listeners about it. You know, Rick, it wasn't that long ago where I wasn't comfortable saying the word anti-aging because I think it implied something that we really weren't able to do yet. And so I would always, even just last year, I was doing some lectures and I was saying things like managing aging or how you said it, helping us just age in a healthy way.
Right.
That was a more comfortable way for me to say that. But I can tell you now, we are really at the beginning of true age reversal innovations. And so I'm becoming more and more comfortable. I'm about 99% there.
Almost there.
Saying the word anti-aging. That's pretty good. I mean, last year I was about 20% or so. So this year, I mean, that's how close we are. And at Life Extension, we're already bringing some of these new supplement products to the market so people can start taking these right away. Obviously, the research is ongoing, right? I mean, this is a huge field.
Right.
But yeah, Rick, we can actually say the words age reversal now. And that's the product line that Life Extension is now bringing to the market. So it doesn't get much bigger than that, right? This isn't just about preserving joint tissue or brain tissue or heart tissue. This is actually about going into those tissues at the cell level and controlling the aging process and really reversing it so that the cells remain younger and healthier and they function at an optimal level for a much longer time than they normally would. And that's really been the focus, by the way. You know, I'm starting in about the 1940s, maybe 1950s. We started to see these theories of aging kind of come up, like why do we age? To give you an example, you know, a big one that first came into the science market was low energy levels. You know, you're not able to make as much cell energy called ATP. That was one of the leading theories for many, many years. And then other theories came along, like loss of hormones, loss of cell membranes, damage to the DNA, and all of these things were seen as maybe all occurring at the same time, leading to, you know, the aging process. Right. But those theories don't really explain still what's happening at the cellular level. And it's at the cell level that we're really focusing now on. We're able to now identify pathways that are occurring at that deep cellular level that is really explaining why we age. Now you see loss of hormones, loss of energy production. Those kind of things are really attacking the cell. And so we have now at Life Extension, we spent the past like 3 or 4 years really focusing on the cell. Forget the millions and millions of cells. Let's just focus on one, and let's see what goes on when we lose cellular energy, when we lose hormones, when the cell membrane begins to break down. What's really occurring inside the cell that's leading to this aging process? And so by doing that, by focusing our attention on the cell, we have uncovered so much information about what true aging is. And now that we've done that, and there's still a lot more to do, Rick. I mean, there's still many more things we got to understand.
Right.
But we've identified some core pathways, pathways that increase the age of the cell, other pathways that could help the cell that are turned off. So we've identified them. And now that we've done that, we can start targeting them with medications in some cases. But of course, we're a supplement company, so we're focusing more on natural medicine. But we can start targeting those pathways, influencing them in a way where the cell remains younger for a longer period of time. So this really is big news. Prior to what we, the past couple of years, when we were looking at things like loss of hormones, that was fine, and I do believe in correcting hormones in people, but it still wasn't explaining aging at the cell level. We are now explaining aging at the cell level, and that's why I'm getting more comfortable saying things like age reversal. And so that's what we're bringing to the market today, and it really is very, very exciting.
And I can tell from the passion, this is something that you really believe in, and you're actually seeing progress. Dr. Michael Smith is our guest on the program, the Senior Health Scientist for Life Extension. The product we're talking about is called Ageless Cell, and we'll talk about that in a second. You can get all the information at geroprotect.net, G-E-R-O, protect.net. You can go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on directly. Once you think maybe we're onto something, in the old way of doing things was this clinical trial thing that could take literally years before you found out if you were making any progress. This whole process has been accelerated by using artificial intelligence, which I mentioned in the intro. Talk about that, because that's exciting, because you really are able to step up the process and possibly save a lot of lives in the meantime.
Yeah, so this is really changing not just the supplement industry, right? Artificial intelligence, you're going to see it used more and more in really all facets of life, right? But especially in medicine, especially in the supplement industry. So to put the story together a little bit more. So remember, Rick, I was talking about looking at that single cell, right? And what's going on inside that cell that is making it get older. That's causing dysfunction. We know that when a cell begins to get a little too old, when it's not working as well, the body can actually recognize that. And there are natural processes that occur where the body will tell that cell to kind of stop functioning, stop dividing, making other cells. You're too old, you're going to start making mistakes. And when the body tells a cell to go into that state where you're not really doing anything, but you're still there, the cell's still alive, it's still sitting there in the tissue, but the body has kind of told it to stop what it's doing. There's a fancy name for that, and that name is called senescence, cellular senescence. It's just a fancy word that means that cell, the body has told it to stop dividing, stop functioning, and just kind of hang out and stay out of the way. Well, our research, what we found by looking at that cell, is that cell kind of becomes an old grumpy man. It doesn't just sit there. It doesn't like to be told to be quiet and just kind of move out and you're old. Like, who does, right? The cell doesn't either. So that cell kind of still tries to function a little bit. And it ends up causing problems. It ends up releasing into the little micro environment that it lives in, pro-inflammatory compounds, things that are called free radicals, oxidative stress.
Yes.
And so it starts to kind of damage the area around it and starts to damage healthy cells. And so that senescent cell kind of starts to spread to the other cells. And eventually you start getting a whole tissue full of these senescent cells, and soon the organ begins to dysfunction. And so we're focusing all of our attention on two things. Number one, that senescent cell that's old and grumpy. So one of the first things we did is in using the artificial intelligence is we used computers to help us identify the pathways, those aging pathways that are still turned on in that senescent cell. And the computer was really quickly, we're talking what would have taken a whole team of experts at Life Extension years to do, Rick. The computer was able to do this in like a few days. The computer is able to analyze based on what we ask it to look for, those aging pathways, right? It is able to analyze millions of data points in a very short period of time. And in doing so, it pulls out these nutrients based on these studies that might be helpful in helping that old grumpy cell to actually, and I know this sounds bad, but we actually want that old grumpy cell to die off. That is as a normal process. It's called apoptosis. So we first used artificial intelligence to take that old grumpy cell and get rid of it. And the computer was able to identify nutrients that would help to do that. And that's important because it clears out that tissue so that those healthier cells aren't being bombarded by all that crud that old grumpy cell was throwing out. So that was the first thing. But then we thought, well, what if we can take a cell that's not senescent yet? Maybe it's a middle-aged cell, if you will, right? Still able to do some good work, but getting close to being senescent. What if we could take that cell and we can turn back the clock just a little bit in that cell so it remains healthier, strong, functioning optimally for just a little bit longer? That would be quite powerful for your heart, your brain, what have you. So then we asked the computer. So at one, we talked about the senescent cell to the computer. Now we ask the computer is to look at that cell that's kind of pre-senescent and find those pathways that we could influence to turn back the clock a little bit so that cell remains healthier longer. And again, this would have taken us years to do. I mean, 5, 6, 7 years to go through all of the research that's out there. But within a few days, the computer was able to find a set of nutrients that could help to take a pre-senescent cell and make it more healthier for a longer period of time. What we did with those results, now we still need to do the science, right? We don't want to completely trust a computer. Right. So the computer really just sped up the process for first finding the nutrients. And when we looked at the senescent cell and we looked at the pre-senescent cell, the computer found 70 potential nutrients that could help in these cases. And we call those nutrients geroprotectors. Age protectors. Okay, that's just a fancy word for age protectors. Right. From those 70, we then did some more research, both with the computer and in the lab, to verify that these nutrients truly are influencing those aging pathways. And right now, out of that 70, we've identified 4 that we really believe are potent geroprotectors, and we're going to start using those in this new formula right off the bat. We have an antioxidant from green tea called EGCG. We have an antioxidant from citrus fruit called myricetin. We have a special form of natural vitamin E. And then we also have one called NAC, N-Acetyl-Cysteine. It's a very common antioxidant in the body. Those 4 together, at the specific doses that the computer recommended, they've been verified in laboratory work. We've put them in a formula, and that formula is now going to be able to get rid of the senescent cell and take a pre-senescent cell and turn back the clock. This truly is age reversal science, and that's why we're so excited about this.
And the name is very appropriate, Ageless Cell. Talk about what we can expect when we start taking the pill. By the way, the information for the supplement is available at the website geroprotect.net. You can link on directly by going to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and get the information. What can we expect when we're using the supplement?
Well, I think what you're going to see, because it's not specific to a type of cell, right, Rick? It's not, Ageless Cell is kind of it's the first product in a line, by the way.
Right.
But it's the first one that's just kind of talking to all the cells in a general way. So we're hoping to see improved organ function head to toe, right? So a healthier brain, a healthier heart, maybe memory gets a little bit better. Maybe the mental fogginess kind of gets a little bit better. Maybe your exercise tolerance goes up some. But the real exciting part of this is, imagine soon when we are able to produce a product that's specific, say, to the heart senescent cells, or to the pre-senescent cells in your brain, or the pre-senescent cells in your joints when you're just starting to feel a little ouch, that little pain, and
exactly,
it's starting to keep you from exercising a little bit. Imagine when we have this product line that is very specific to different cells, that's when we're going to see, I think, the greatest impact on specific organ systems. Once the computer has told us what nutrients to use and we verify that in the lab, we are also moving all of this into human research, right? We also want to show the impact in clinical trials. And so that's another part of it, but it's going to be done in phases. Right now, we are very confident in the 4 nutrients that we have verified that the computer has chosen as nutrients that are true gero or age protectors. And you can already start taking this, and we should start seeing improvement in organ function across the board. And that's why we're so excited.
Has there ever been a better time to be a health scientist? I'm thinking you're right on the cutting edge here. In fact, you're right there now.
Well, I would like to think this is the best time, right? But maybe other scientists from past time, when antibiotics were discovered, they might claim that was the best time. I mean, I don't know. I think I think now that we have computers to use, I think this is really a game changer. I think it's really going to open up how fast we can find things and verify things and do studies. And so that's an exciting part of all this. And so I think that alone, the artificial intelligence part of it, I think this is like the best time to be in science and in medicine and in especially natural medicine. So yeah, I think this is a pretty awesome time to be researching.
Chuck, we got a couple minutes left in the program about life extension. You are the senior health scientist for life extension. Talk about the commitment that they have made and literally spent tens of millions of dollars, even more than that, over the last years in trying to come up with supplements that actually work, and to be this close and being a pioneer in what's happening in terms of longevity and anti-aging. Talk about how rewarding it is to work for a company that's really behind the research and changing lives.
Well, that's why I stayed at Life Extension. So I was practicing in Dallas, Texas, internal medicine, and a lot of patients, Rick, were coming into my office asking questions about nutrition. And I just didn't have any answers for them. It wasn't my focus, right, in medical school and residency. And so I came to Life Extension to kind of learn more. There's a whole wellness specialist line where you can call and ask pretty much any question you want. You can speak to doctors and fitness trainers. So I came originally, Life Extension, to work on the phone lines and just kind of put myself through my own, I don't know, what do you want to call it, like a nutrition fellowship. And that was 10 years ago, and I haven't left because what I soon found out is that Life Extension, although we do sell products and those products support what we do on the research side of it, it's always been about the information for us, and it's always been about the research. Right now, to date, we've done more, we have spent more research money on anti-aging and supplements than any other company in the world. And so, yeah, it's a great and exciting place to be. And as the spokesperson, as the senior scientist, as the primary educator, I mean, it's so exciting because I get to talk to people like you, Rick, and I get to talk at conferences, and I get to get that message out there and let people see that we really are making some huge strides in the aging market and also just in the supplement market as well. So it's a fantastic place to work.
And you're now 99% comfortable saying anti-aging, so that is a real breakthrough. And I'm looking forward.
I get 1%
hedging a little bit. We'll have you back on the program, and one of these days you're going to go, Rick, I'm 100% comfortable saying anti-aging with us on the program.
You're Rick. I want to get to that point, right? But I'm a scientist. I got to watch the data first, right? That's the way it is. But I'm getting close.
Okay, next time you'll be 99.5% of the way to 100. We'll go in slow.
I don't know if I'll ever be 100%. Right? Come on, I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that.
Okay. 99.9 may be max that we're going to talk about on the program. Dr. Michael Smith with us once again, senior health scientist for Life Extension. Geroprotect is the product we're talking about. Geroprotectors. The website is very simple. Geroprotect.net. That's GERO protect.net. Part of Life Extension. You can go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on directly to the website to get all the information. Dr. Mike will be checking back in with you. It is always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us on the program, and keep up the work. I'm on your side here. I want to see something happen quickly so I can take advantage of it. Ageless Cell is going to be in my daily supplemental diet, I'm sure, here as we progress. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks, Rick. I really appreciate it. Take care.
You're listening to This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. We're back after this.